How would it be to play through a Pokemon game only using not very effective moves? That's something I set out to do here, continuing the not very effective moves series. My previous video was on Pokemon Red version, now we're on Pokemon Gold. So, just as it kind of explains, whenever I can use a not very effective move, I'll use that. Now, of course, there's normal type Pokemon. Those are the only kind of really exceptions, since there's nothing that's not very effective against them. Now, my last video, I had used a Bulbasaur, so I figured let's go with the fire type Cyndaquil, especially because there's other grass and water types I can get. But getting the Cyndaquil, the first rival, well, he's got a Totodile, so I can't do anything against it. Now here's a Pidgey. I don't have any effective moves against the Pidgey, but against Sentret, well, it's a normal type. I can use my tackles to gain some levels, so I can finally get a fire type move, Ember. That would be not very effective against Totodile. Just gonna speed up through some of that training. Level 12, Cyndaquil learns Ember. And because of that big level difference, even though it's not very effective here, an Ember does about a third of Totodile's health. I guess barely takes 4 hits to knock it out. Okay, so the challenge is on. And, yep, getting through the rival. Question mark, question mark, question mark. And unfortunately, there's a roadblock here, because this trainer, let's see, yep. He's got a Pidgey. And I can use a grass type, which I don't have. And there's nothing I can catch right now. Or a bug type, which there are Spinarak at nighttime, which needs to level up pretty high to just barely get leech life. And that's one choice. That's one of the options. I also just figured, well, let's just go in and get Chikorita. Okay. Use him, same kind of a thing. Get him a grass type move, which at level 8 he learns Razor Leaf, so pretty good move, pretty early. Now, I mean, kind of, if you know much about this game, grass type Chikorita and its line were kind of the less used choice, or kind of have a lot of the gyms going against, as you'll see later. But level 9 Chikorita, a couple hits on the Pidgey, and Rattata, well, it's a normal type, so it could have gotten through with anything. Now, in a lot of ways, the first kind of section of the game, big section of the game, because it was kind of, I guess, designed not to have you pick Chikorita, kind of the opposite of Bulbasaur last time. There's a flying type gym right away. I mean, just trying it at first, Razor Leaf can miss, but it's just the same level as the Spearow. So, in Sprout Tower, this first of many of the sages, they got Bellsprouts, quad resisted, but they're on level 3, so it's a way to Chikorita to get some experience and also get Flash for use later. But coming back later here, level 14, big thing is Chikorita has Reflect, and Reflect, doubling my defense and doing more damage with Razor Leaf. Looks like, well, it would have been 3 hits, but with a critical hit, only just 2. Okay, so Chikorita, now I can kind of just breeze on through the couple level 7 Pidgeys, even easier than the level 9 Spearow of the first. Can't use Poison Powder here because I am also only just using kind of direct damaging moves, nothing like Poison, Leech Seed, things like that. Just, whenever possible, not very effective move. But I can use, other status moves, things like Flack, Growl, and so forth. 2 Razor Leafs takes out the Pidgey, and then level 9 Pidgeotto. It's gonna be critical hits for Chikorita with a Gust, but because of Reflect being up and another critical hit, Chikorita level 15 has gotten his first badge. Nice thing too is this person right here, just south of the city, has a Miracle Seed. You can give that to boost the grass moves just by a little bit. And really, the next section of the game, there's normal types, poison types. There's a rock type, but I can also just use Tackle, normal type moves against it. Getting through the one, evolves to Bayleaf here in the tunnel, and a Vulpix. So there's a fire type. So all of these it's just really just been a solo Bayleaf so far. Eventually you'll catch some other Pokemon. And even the Team Rockets, they've got normal types as well as some poison types. So the second person has Zubat, Ekans, and Rattata again, more Zubat, that's a common theme with Gold version. There's big sections of the game with all these grunts have these kind of normal and poison type Pokemon. Getting through the last of them. There's also the bug type gym next, so something that is also resisted. So get rid of the trainers there in that gym and take on Bugsy. So the first two Pokemon on Bugsy, I mean Metapod and then Kakuna, not too bad for Bayleaf. I mean, Razor Leaf almost does half to Metapod. It does nothing hardly with Tackle. Set up a Reflect before the next Pokemon. Razor Leaf, great. So Bayleaf level 20 against level 14 Kakuna. Razor Leaf, now it's quad resisted because of the poison type on Kakuna. Misses a third Razor Leaf and another one. Oh, and then gets poisoned. So pretty rough because, I mean, even though, well, I mean, could have had better luck for sure. But with any poison, I mean, Scyther quad resists and has a lot better stats than these other Pokemon. So that's not going to be an option yet at that level. Coming back, Bayleaf, level 22. Now got there, can get Synthesis when he levels level 23. Scyther here can set up a Reflect. Fury Cutter can miss. So far so good. I did catch a Pidgey, so you know, learn from Falconer, and can use some Sand Attack. It's also resisting the Bug type moves. I mean, Fury Cutter can rack up damage, but if it misses, it breaks the combo. Send out a Bayleaf. Reflect is gone. Set up another Reflect, and start using some Razor Leaf. Super Speed through, and it just mostly misses. And when it doesn't miss, that's the the bad thing about Fury Cutter. It only does a little bit of damage. So. Second gym down, the rival here, Ghastly, Zubat, and of course the opposing starter, so everything Bayleaf has resisted attacks for with its grass moves, so just some Razor Leaves. Colava brings Bayleaf down to about half and then down to a quarter, but Bayleaf gets to level 24. So other than the Pidgey for the Scyther, it's just been a Bayleaf show so far. Now getting through the forest, there's couple more trainers here, especially in in the gym, the normal type gym. So really any Pokemon could do it since normal doesn't resist anything. Getting Whitney, which in this case, I think based on my level, it's not kind of as big of a thing, big of a difficulty. Clefairy, just a couple Razor Leafs. Miltank comes out, misses a rollout, critical hit with Razor Leaf, and another critical hit. Wow, so Bayleaf just really stomped down Whitney, kind of making her cry like she always does. But she finally, gets convinced to give a badge and can move forward. So even past Goldenrod, there's a trainer with fire types here, and there's a lot of other non-mandatory trainers as well. But this trainer here's got a ground type, so all I could use would be a rock or poison, and going around the other way, also ground. So I have to get something different, something that you could do either of those damage, but I actually can go back around up through Violet and use the Squirt Bottle to get the Sudowoodo. And actually, just sped up here, you just use, Tackle to whittle it down, and so that I can catch it, because hey, I mean level 20, it's only 6 levels lower than Bayleaf, and we've got Rock and lots of fighting moves, so nice addition. Now in the grass near Goldenrod, you can also catch Ditto, and that's kind of something that I thought was going to be interesting. I mean, here I throw out a Pidgey, use some Sand Attacks on this Drowsy. And it's interesting because there's a Psychic type right here, it's only Psychic or Fighting types can be moved. If I get the Ditto, he can use not very effective moves. I mean, he misses at least Dream Eaters, which I don't think is that likely. There's probably has pretty good accuracy, but it only has 5 PP. Now Sudowoodo doesn't take super effective from Psychic, and so he can just use some low kicks. Can blast through all these Ghost, but Ghost and Poison types. Ghastly, Line, which there's no really kind of criminally, there's no Misdreavus at all, even though that's the new Ghost Pokemon in Generation 2. Anyway, Bayleaf, just using Razor Leaf, taking out the Ghastlys and Haunters, already level 28, which just makes the most sense. I mean, there's other things that resist, like a Poison, but Poison is bad against Ghost and Poison, for example, right, so quad. Okay, with last stage down, now we're on to Morty, 4th gym, and he just has Ghastly Line, so grass type moves not very effective. Bayleaf can go use a Razor Leaf here, almost half, uses Curse, which, in Generation 2 Curse was not as good, just because if you knock the Pokemon out, you actually don't take damage from it. But here's kind of a mistake, I know looking back at the video, that I really should have just swapped it out to another Pokemon, because then the Curse would have stopped, and I had other Pokemon with me, so. But I mean, either way, even with that, I get a little bit better luck if I don't fall asleep. I mean, Gengar can put you to sleep and use Dream Meter, so it's, I'll come back later. Kimono Girls, first two, no problem with, Flareon and Espeon, but Umbreon here, so, like I showed before, Ditto can transform and use never effective moves, but only has 5 PP per move, so same thing with Vaporeon, also in the Jolteon as well. Just not going to be very useful, so need to kind of wait to deal with those new types, essentially. I mean, it's like the first we're experiencing Dark Water and Electric types. So Snubbull, that you can catch right there, learns Bite. There's also Magnemites just to the kind of west of Ecruteak, I mean. Magnemite can knock out the Jolteon. Snubbull, level 13. Super sped up. Bite can only do a third of the damage, so do some more training with the Snubbulls, as well as getting through some of the Lighthouse I'll have to get through later anyway. Billy Fear level 31 gets Body Slam, big improvement over Tackle. And now, going back to the Kimono Girls, Umbreon, Pidgey can use a bunch of Sand attacks, Snubbull can start using Bite. It actually uses all of them, but then the level 18 Snubbull, so I had 2 total. It can use Bites to finish off. Umbreon, I think about 10 to spare. There's also a couple Krabbies that you can catch with one of the rods there in Olivine. And Krabby can take out Vaporeon. So now all the Kimono Girls are gone. Surf, great move, getting it before the 4th gym. Morty coming out. Now my Bayleaf has evolved into a Meganium. Spite, well, that's a lot better than Curse. Meganium's second Razor Leaf takes out the Ghastly. Haunter comes out. 1 Razor Leaf over half the Haunter. Another, so only 2 more Pokemon left for Morty. And Meganium level 33. I mean, it's got a kind of big level advantage for now. Gets put to sleep by Gengar when Gengar's at half. Switch out to Pidgey. He misses the Dream Eater since Pidgey's awake. Figured let's get a bunch of Sand attacks out. I mean, this level was 10 when I first got it, now 11. Pidgey, just doing its job with some Sand attacks. I mean, it actually can't get hit. I mean, I guess I could have maybe stayed there for a while till Gengar lost its PP, but just send it over to Meganium, use a couple Razor Leaves. Take it out, Pidgey's level 13, and Morty's got his Haunter, final Pokemon. 1 Razor Leaf just under half, second hit brings Haunter down to the red, and third is gone. So Meganium level 34, and we've beaten Morty, so half of the gym's done, and I have Krabby and Surf. I can get through the rest of the mandatory trainers in the Lighthouse, talk to Jasmine, so that I'll need to be going over to Cyanwood with Chuck. Because of the fighting type, I mean, it's kind of interesting, types like fighting or like psychic that don't usually resist as much are actually better in this type of a challenge, because now there's not as many things that are resisted against them, right? And so I figured my best option against fighting types was a Scyther, catch that in the bug catching contest. And I mean, because it's bug and flying, so it's quad resists any fighting moves. So about 11 levels lower than this one, level 27 Hitmonlee, Scyther can come out, use Fury Cutter that I taught it from Bugsy's gym. Start racking up some damage, Hitmonlee misses. And once, but Scyther can survive, beat this trainer. But unfortunately, this is kind of like a little gauntlet here. I mean, it's just 2 trainers, but we're back to back, so you can't heal, can't switch, can't do anything. So 10 levels less. Go over to Pidgey. Now, Hitmonchan does not have a fighting type, which is actually good for it, because its fire, electric, and ice moves are all super effective against Scyther. It misses 1 because of the Sand attack, but that's not going to go good. So I come back with Scyther level 26, just bring him up kind of on par. I also Psychot a Tentacruel, which you can catch just right outside while surfing. So much higher health, Scyther can just do a lot more damage, almost, just barely under full health, to take on this Hitmonchan. Fury Cutter here, slowly will rack up damage. Hitmonchan can go for its fire, ice, thunder, they're all doing about the same. Scyther can get knocked out, but because it's down pretty low and he doesn't have a fighting type move, Sudowoodo can actually just use some rock throws and take out Hitmonchan. So there's the rest of the trainers here in Chuck's gym. More fighting types, of course, Machop, Machoke. Kind of the same thing as before. Use Scyther if he gets knocked out. There's only a little bit of health left. After some Sand attack, Sudowoodo can just come in and survive a crowd chop, use a rock throw. There's one trainer left with Mankeys and Primeape. Now, if Fury Cutter starts racking up damage, it can start just taking out these Mankey. Yeah, you see that in one hit. Primeape comes out the final Pokemon. Fury Cutter, just because it racked up so much damage, even though it's not very effective, it can take out the Primeape. So check, I mean, only 2 Pokemon, and versus the Primeape. Go for some Fury Cutters, doubles each time. So after the 3rd hit, well, now the 4th, it can take out Primeape in one hit. Buff 5th, so max damage Fury Cutter does more than half. Another one, critical hit would not have mattered. And Scyther can just single-handedly take out Chuck. So 5 gym badges, and then Jasmine doesn't have any gym trainers. It's got Magnemite, so Electric would also Steel now. And so I can use Razor Leaf for Body Slam. A couple hits to take it out. Steelix is kind of a big beast here. Can set up a Reflect. Iron Tail can lower my defense, but also can miss. Body Slam, so here I'm just trying, I mean, it does some damage, but I'm trying to just hopefully get a Paralysis. Slow Steelix down and get him to just not act. Another Reflect by Iron Tail knocks out Meganium because the defense had gotten lowered. Send out, I got, these same kind of Pokemon. Scyther coming out, can set up, well, can start going for some Fury Cutters. Unfortunately, he has Rock Throw, which is quite effective. He doesn't miss a single time, isn't paralyzed, so could have been better luck, but let's just try again. Now Meganium here got paralyzed, unfortunately, by the Magnemite. Things can go that way as well. First Body Slam didn't paralyze at all. Steelix, second one does. So at least Meganium did something. I mean, that's a good part of his job. Now, yeah, sometimes throughout this I keep forgetting now. Also, depending on the time that I was doing this at, Synthesis will do like less or more health. I didn't really pay too much attention to that. But Krabby here, now I just kind of set up some Hardens to kind of take the damage better. I mean, he's resisted by any of the Steel type moves. But what I actually kind of figured out is with this Krabby, because I have the 2 of them, using some Leers and then going for something like Strength actually does not too bad of damage. And I can send out Scyther, and after the Leers have gone out, Fury Cutter should be doing some more. I mean, right, the second hit doing about as much as the Strengths we're doing for Krabby. Steelix looks like he misses a Rock for this time, and then is fully paralyzed, so some better luck to even out from before. But then he misses a Fury Cutter, which happens. I mean, it's got good accuracy, but not great, not 100%. And so Tentacle can't do anything against that Magnemite. So kind of doing it a similar kind of thing as before on the next attempt. First one, Krabby just sending up a bunch of Leers and then some Strengths. Now the second Krabby actually can just go for some Strengths. Jasmine heals, more Strengths, bring it down to half. Whenever it does get hit by Steelix, I mean he had all the sand attacks by Pidgey. He can get through and defeat the Steelix himself. The game is at low health, so I did not let him kind of go down. He can go with a Body Slam, survives on 1 HP after the Sonic Boom, and then takes him out with another Body Slam. So I mean, still Meganium, other than Chuck doing most of the work. Now I mean for me, every time I played this game as a kid, you got to catch the red Gyarados, and I mean that was always just a part of my team. I mean, it's the red Gyarados, right? Kind of just introducing shiny. So some of the Rocket plotline. I mean, show you some of the Pokemon. I mean, they're pretty low level, but Psychic type, Poison type. Nothing new that I haven't already faced. A Zubat here. I guess a Grimer, but it's just a solid Poison. And Rattata and Venonat. So really, I mean, most of it just Meganium. Just getting through things. I mean, Tentacruel does have Acid, so that's also kind of good against Poison that they can use. Sometimes the Pokemon that you'll face here will use Self-Destruct. More Pokemon Ekans, Gloom, just a slaughter pretty much. So okay, so now with this first of the admins, executives, I guess they call them. He's got a Zubat. Sudowoodo can take that down. Krabby can take out the Raticate, and Meganium the Coughing. And they're just kind of lower levels. I mean, they look cooler. Like, I mean, the executives, I guess, but they're not too difficult. I mean, on Arbok, so it's a fully evolved, but still just level 23 when you just fought Pokemon that were a lot higher. Right? And based on where the hideout is located, you'd think they would be higher level. Now here there's these Electros that you have to fight. You can't run away, you have to fight them, but they can also just go for self-destruct, so just kind of switch around and let them build themselves up. So now with price, I mean, I've got 6 gym badges, ice type, which because ice is not very good at resisting things, right? If you're a pure ice, ice is the only thing that is not very effective against you. Now, Price's Pokemon are water ice or ice ground, and so there's other options. And the Gyarados here, of course, taught it Surf, so you can take out some of the, I mean, there's a lot of water types in this gym. But see this Jinx, I would need an ice type, can't use fighting because it's neutral, or psychic, I guess. I don't have any psychic Pokemon at the moment, but Tentacruel can use its poison moves against the ground type Swinub. And some, you know, pure water types, water ice types, so getting rid of the rest of these trainers before fighting Price. Price, I come in unfortunate for him, even though he's a 7th gym later, based on the levels of his Pokemon. He should really have had them be higher. I mean, Seal is just pure water. Gyarados uses some Surfs, about 5 of them, takes him out. Dugong, some more Surf. Dugong can use Aurora Beam, it's neutral against Gyarados. But I got Tentacruel for Surf as well. Dugong can go to rest, and that's kind of, I mean, it's just like Lorelei in Gen 1. He keeps using rest. I only have, how many Surfs left? 7 left. I guess 5 now after that. And he just keeps going for the same thing. So essentially, I'm just going to be running out of Surfs, even though he's not doing anything to me. And Tentacruel does pretty good damage. I mean, he's a pretty good counter, but that's not enough. So trying it again, a little bit better luck. I mean, Gyarados does let it heal a couple times. It keeps using some rest, but eventually it just kind of stops. Well, it kind of gets off on like a different thing. So I switch over to Krabby, and it was resting to kind of offset where the damage was a little bit, so that by the time I start using Surf, it actually would have probably gone for rest then, but it's still to knock it out. Now with the Piloswine, using some Sludge Bomb. Now Poison, this is the thing, I mean, I didn't want to reset when I did Poison. I kind of, with these, I figured that, hey, if you can use a Poison move, that's kind of the benefit of Poison, is that it can Poison Pokemon. I mean, Poison is not very effective against things like ground, but also against poison. Poison Pokemon can't get poisoned anyway, so I mean, it is kind of what it is. I'm not specifically using Poison Powder. Anyway, this Executive, you could have seen, I guess, a bunch of coughings. Now I got the Rival coming out. He's a lot to do, but I mean, this is actually kind of a big, a steeper actually kind of increase for him. Probably the more challenging, just kind of based on how much he increased, or maybe just because of the way I've leveled up some of my Pokemon, but can use my Tentacruel to take out the Golbat. Now another Magnemite, I've dealt with them before. Send out Magnemite, Razor Leaf, almost not, yeah, it does knock it out in 2 hits, probably because of the crit on the second hit. He's got his Quilava, used Razor Leaf, that's about a quarter. Another Razor Leaf, I mean, he's outpacing the Quilava, even though he's using the super effective Flame Wheel. I mean, I guess just, oh, that's the thing, critical hit. So trying again, he actually got some better luck a couple times in a row, but if I send out Pidgeotto, I can use a bunch of sand attacks. I mean, really beginning my option against Fire type. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Well, I guess there's also Scyther who can use some Fury. Gotta just hope you don't get hit, because he also will take super effective damage from any Fire type moves. But on that third, well, he misses the fourth Fury. I was going to say on the fourth he's going to be able to take him out. But a couple Fury Cutters have gone through, and Fury Cutter is resisted by Haunter, but he misses. But starts setting up again. Haunter puts up a curse. Second Fury Cutter takes damage from Curse. Third Fury Cutter survives a Shadow Ball and knocks out Haunter with another. Now, actually, interesting, I mean, Sneasel, not very good. I mean, he's a cool little guy, but like, because he's just Ice and Dark, I can only use Dark or Ice moves, essentially. And I do have a Swinub I caught, but I mean, its Powder Snows don't do anything. Gyarados has Bite, does a little bit, and just enough, yeah, but he got through multiple of my Pokemon. Meganium can take out the rest kind of the Pokemon in that hideout, as well going into the radio tower, kind of getting through the rest of the plot line with a couple other Vileplume, Murkrow, so. Last Executive, some Fire types, Houndour, Coughing, Meganium's doing a lot of good work here. He's got his Houndoom, Razor Leaf. He only has Ember. If he had Flamethrower, he would be a lot more difficult. Using some Synthesis to heal back up. I got Poison from the Coughing from before. He can go also from First Maul, which is super effective, but a terrible move. And I'm already poisoned anyway. Meganium going for some Razor Leaf. Houndoom at very low, so is Meganium, but Meganium can take out Houndoom. So now, thankfully, mercifully, the Rocket Bot line is done and can move on to the final, the Dragon type gym leader, Claire. So, a couple dragons here. I mean, it's only, they're lower levels, only a couple. Most of the things like Dratini's and some Dragonairs, as well as some water types like Seadra. It's nothing too bad just to get 2 Claire, but Claire having the 3 Dragonair, which have some pretty good moves. I mean, they got like ice and electric, fire type, or water type moves. Plus the Kingdra. I mean, Kingdra is kind of the most difficult thing because things that are bad against are not very effective, or like quad not very effective for the most part. Things like fire, water, or they're just neutral like grass or electric. Now there is also steel types. Well, anyway, we'll cover that a little bit. Tentacle here. Against the Dragon, there's a couple for about 4 surfs. He does get paralyzed here. Essentially, the second Dragonair is going to be sent out always when there's a Tentacle, has electric moves, but he can get through him as well, even though he's paralyzed. So Tentacle is dead, can do half on his own, even when he's paralyzed, and I didn't even use a paralyzed Gear Berry. Trying again, Meganium can come out. I mean, we use the one that has electric type moves, send out Meganium because Meganium will resist it. So kind of zoomed in a little bit, but then the next one that'll come out, of course, has the ice type moves. So kind of have to have the right order of operations. I also level things up a bunch just to kind of be more on par anyway, so Meganium, Tentacle, level 40, Gyarados. But if you caught it in that little brief moment, but you'll see in a moment there's another kind of addition. See Girafarig there, level 39. It's going to be kind of our to help us with Claire. So Gyarados is level 40, gains Hydro Pump. That was kind of a big thing, milestone I wanted to get to, which it does miss, but does a lot more damage, and sometimes it's worth it when you're just using him at the beginning of the battle. Send out Meganium, doesn't do too much against this one. This one has the electric type moves, but Tentacle can knock it out. Kingdra, last final Pokemon, can set up a barrier and go for some surfs. I mean, it's quite resistant, but still pretty good damage. I mean, at this point I think I already had the Mystic Water, which helped boost some damage as well. But now Tentacle is gone, lose some sand attacks. He hits with Hyper Beam. It does mean I can send somebody out for free, using some Hydro Pumps for Gyarados. Does not miss. Starts going for Surf after I've run out of those. Kingdra is down to about 1/3 health. Kingdra keeps missing, as well as going for some other things, but does eventually take out Gyarados. Now Girafarig can teach Iron Tail that I got from Jasmine. A couple of those, and Kingdra is gone. And kind of a big thing, I mean, Girafarig having Psychic type moves, I figure is going to be useful soon, and for a couple other kind of Psychic type Pokemon coming there, but Steel, not good against water, not good against fire or electric, so it's actually kind of pretty useful for this challenge. So right before the Elite Four, we got the rival again. He's got his Sneasel, but lead with my Gyarados. Just use some bites. I mean, here Sneasel can't do very much to Gyarados. I mean, Gyarados now out levels him instead of being under leveled. And the Magneton, Gyarados can go for things like Thrash, do most of the damage, or getting knocks him out. So that a Golbat. Got my Tentacle, which I think you've seen has Sludge Bomb now. So do a lot more damage to the poison types like Golbat. Looks like about 1/3 of the damage each time, and Golbat's gone. Kadabra now Psychic type. Girafarig will be coming in handy now. Send over Girafarig. Start using some Confusion, which unfortunately, yeah, I mean that's what he has now. Eventually he'll get Psybeam, but doesn't ever learn Psychic, so he has to actually get that Incanto after the Elite Four, unfortunately. A couple Iron Tails against the Fire type, which is nice. Meganium can start using some Razor Leafs, gets burned, but as you may have seen there, I taught Light Screen instead of to overwrite Reflect, just because it's going to be kind of more useful in the future. Switching back and forth here, eventually I can get a time where Meganium can come in without being switched by himself. Use some Synthesis, stay healthy against Haunter. Meganium gets burned, still been burned, got cursed, I mean, and then knocks out the Ghastly. So, I mean, not the worst. A little bit of difficulty, but that's with not very effective moves. Normally it's not too challenging of a rival. This is my team here. I mean, I did not really any more leveling, just kind of see, hey, what can you do on the very first try? So I'm not expecting too much, but let's just kind of get a feel for it. So we got the first trainer, Will. And Xatu Psychic type. He's also flying, so I feel like, well, I mean, he's going to be maybe using Psychic type moves. Let's set up a Light Screen. I mean, taking been doing pretty good damage and resisting things pretty well, but Zapdos has Confuse Ray, which here is really annoying. There I should have used some Synthesis to try to heal back up. I just kind of wanted to see maybe I could knock him out. Use that almost. He's in the red. Graphic can come in, use some Confusion. Thankfully, I mean, so Jinx here, Psychic and Ice. Figured just Girafarig can hopefully take it out, but gets put to sleep. Not much damage from Jinx, but Girafarig. Oof, okay, Ice Punch actually is about half each time, so. I think another answer for Jinx I found, and so my answer was Ursaring. Ursaring can learn the TMs, the elemental punches, fire, electric, well, thunder, and ice punch. So kind of take two Meganium, set up a light screen, get confused unfortunately, start using some Razor Leaf, break through confusion, super critical hit just to start, so doing so pretty well, but then start hitting myself in confusion. Zatu's down to about a third health, Meganium's down to about half. There we go, using Synthesis, get up back to full, and Meganium can start going. Set up light screen whenever it's down to keep resisting the psychic type moves. Breaks through confusion but misses Razor Leaf. Not confusing anymore, uses Razor Leaf again. Synthesis to heal up, but light screen now is faded. Beginning can take out the second Zatu. Jinx, Ice and Psychic, so got my answer for it now. Ursaring, Ice Punch does about a quarter, but Psychic does more. And yeah, he didn't do that much. He did, let's see, I don't know, 15%. Girafarig can come out though, using Side Beams, which now he's got that instead of Confusion, so a lot better, I mean, some better damage. I can also Confuse, which I did there to Jinx. And Girafarig knocks out the Jinx. Exeggutor, Grass, and Psychic. Girafarig's already out, so just might as well keep going with it, but also Water type moves could easily knock out the Grass type as well. I've got two Water types on my team. And another Water type as well, Slowbro. Uses Psychic, knock out Girafarig. Girafarig doing some good work. I mean, he's definitely, I mean, there's some of these kind of fun Johto Pokemon that I definitely liked as a kid. So Girafarig comes out, I mean Gyarados, sorry. Girafarig's already down. Gyarados, he's the next up to Slowbro, but we've got Zatu here, and Scyther, it'd actually be neutral type damage to the Psychic and Flying type. So I just used some Sword Dance to get damage dealt from me. Meganium, I mean I used him to take out the other Zatu for the most part, done that, and so here I can heal back up. Start using some Razor Leaf, I mean yeah, Confuse Ray keeps, I mean I can always hit, so I feel like if I'm not confused that's just what the AI wants to do, is always set it up. Final Synthesis used, confused again, set up a light screen, and start going for some Razor Leaves. So for the most part my Pokemon were 45, I guess entirely, because for the first time I still have my Pidgeotto, but I swapped that out for the Ursaring that's actually doing more things. Pidgeotto was just the sand attacker throughout the rest of the game. Yeah, Meganium can take him out, so Will's gone, I mean level 45, pretty good to beat one of the Elite Four members with not very effective moves there. Koga, he's got his little 40 Ariados. Scyther can start setting up some Fury attacks, but then with Crobat coming out, Quad resists it. I figure let's just switch over to Tentacle because I've got Sludge Bomb, which I even got the Poison Barb as well to deal more damage with Sludge Bomb. So set up some barriers, so it's not taking much damage hardly at all from Crobat, but Crobat also uses Double Team, and so I can miss some of the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb, I mean high damage, but it only has 10 PP total. After missing a couple, Crobat's almost gone, but then he uses the full restore, so I'm not gonna have enough Sludge Bomb unless I get a crit right here, which I don't. To take him out. And I don't really have another good option for Crobat. I mean, Meganium, sure, but it's quad resisted and takes super effective from multiple of Crobat's moves, so it's just not too good an option. I mean, Scyther could come out potentially, but he also takes super effective damage from Crobat, so I'm gonna have to come back and do this again. So here I actually kind of just figured, because I tried multiple other times, wasn't working as well, let's just get him up to level 50, kind of matching the champ. Okay, there you can see, okay, so now is where I got I mean, I had the Mystic Water I've been using for a long time, swap over to the Poison Barb for dealing extra damage with poison. If I get out Scyther here, and if he doesn't, sometimes Koga will just switch Pokemon, but Ariados, I mean, so I also set up some Swords Dance first, Second Fury Cutter almost takes him out. Third one would have, and then I would have been head. That's the thing, is you want to have a high damaging one being your first attack on the next Pokemon. Crobat uses one double team and then a wing attack. Scyther misses and misses again. And okay, so he's gone, but Crobat's down to less than half. He only set up one double team. Thundercrowl can set up a barrier, but it's better. Well, I mean, you can. I don't actually just probably set up one because you don't want Crobat to set up too much. But the good thing too about saving PP is if I can use some Screeches here that he's now learned, any damage is going to be a lot with Sledge Bomb, and then I won't have to use as many. In that case, setting up 3 Screech, 1 Sledge Bomb is enough. They happen to hit. And well, let's do the same thing on Venomoth. So some Screeches, hit the first, miss the second. Start going for some Sledge Bomb, almost does a full hit. Well, one hit KO. Fortress, Bug and Steel. I mean, Steel, a lot of things resist it, but not Tentacle. He's just got Water and Poison. Poison doesn't affect it, so you're just gonna set up some Screech so that somebody else can come in and use an attacking type to damage Fortress. So now we're ring level 50. He's got Slash, so neutral. That means the same type attack, and there it crit it, so just one hit KO. Final Pokemon, Poison type. Tentacle is a great option for it, but you're kind of deciding, well, if I switch over to Meganium, he goes for Minimize, miss a Razor Leaf, hit another one. Poison is going to slowly start racking up, and he got hit by Sledge Bomb as well from Muck. Another Razor Leaf, so he brought down Muck to about half, even with those Sledge Bombs, so Meganium did pretty good there. Tentacruel comes out, hits by the Spike Barrier, survives the Sledge Bomb, and another one. Come on, just go for, okay, Rish, just go for those Sledge Bombs, so very low health. Oof, barely survives, okay. Close call, but Tentacruel was able to do it, because sometimes, even if I have Pokemon left, if they can't do any damage, I'd have to reset, because they're going to be able to get through. So 2 of the Elite Four done, now on to Bruno, a little improved from the last generation, now Hitmontop. Dig couldn't do anything against Scyther. He's got Quick Attack, and Fighting would be resisted, so Scyther can just set up some Sword Dance and start going with some Fury Cutters. Hits with the second one, and with the third. So now he's got a 4th hit Fury Cutter coming against, would have been against Onyx, but Bug actually is not resisted by ground or rock. But after the setting up with the Sword Dance, I can just use a couple Wing Attack. And after I hit Hitmonchan, start going with Fury Cutter again. 1 Fury Cutter, Fire Punch does not do very much because Hitmonchan has very bad special attack. And Scyther can knock him out. And Machamp, because I've boosted up that Fury Cutters and had the max attack. 1 hit KO on both Machamp and Hitmonlee. So Scyther plowing through the Fighting type. Interesting how there's the Fighting type Gym Leader and now the Fighting type Elite Four member in the same region, but whatever. Final Pokemon Karen, final Elite Four member Karen. She's got her Umbreon. My Ursaring has Feint Attack just like their Umbreon does. Gets confused. I mean, important thing, a nice thing with Ursaring is he learns Rest. So even though I can get slowly brought down, or I get confused as well, I can go for Rest, heal back up, Umbreon's down to about a 3rd health, and I finally wake up. I mean, I can kind of repeat this process a little bit so that, I mean, ideally I want to beat Umbreon and have some health left, and be at highest health possible for the next Pokemon. And she's not going to use any of her healing items on this first Pokemon. And Umbreon normally is annoying because it can use Sand Attack, but if I have Feint Attack, it's actually a perfect counter since it doesn't miss. So it goes for the exact same thing. I mean, it keeps putting me to sleep. I mean, the unfortunate thing with confusion in sleep is you can get reconfused when you're asleep. So by the time you wake up, you're already confused. Anyway. Ursaring, almost full health, knocks out the Umbreon. So we can switch over for the Vileplume to Gyarados. Vileplume goes for Sunsport, of course. They love their status moves, especially Karen. Going for Gyarados, Hydro Pump, hits, and then I'm fully paralyzed, get hit by Petal Dance, but it's another Hydro Pump. Vileplume got confused itself from the Petal Dance, goes for Surf, almost enough to take it out. Vileplume knocks him out from its Petal Dance. So Gyarados did barely survive through that. Got a Gengar here. Ghost type. Just gonna go for a Thrash. It's not very effective. It does not affect at all. Just to get him knocked out. Go for Meganium. My classic Poison Ghost answer throughout this whole run. Couple Razor Leafs. I decided to swap over to Meganium after he keeps going to go for Destiny Bond because I don't want to get my Pokemon just knocked out for no reason. Goes for a Spy, go for a Light Screen, he goes for Destiny Bond, which that's the thing. In certain generations I kind of forget which one does which, but sometimes it's if you hit it at all after, or sometimes it's only if it's on that specific turn. I just kind of want to avoid that, so I switch over to Scyther since he'll not necessarily be as useful. I mean, there's the Houndoom here. Since he's part dark, I can't use any of my bug types moves. Pursuit does barely anything. Teeniest bit of chip. Send out Tentacruel, who can use a couple Screeches to lower its defense. Get crunched a couple times. And Girafarig that has its Iron Tail does not get hurt super effective by Fire type moves. Another Iron Tail, and it's gone. Final Pokemon's Murkrow, Flying and Dark. Nothing here that Girafarig can use. Could use Confusion, which doesn't affect, which, you know, that's even worse than not very effective. I could use it, but I mean, it's really just so I can get knocked out. Ring, just like he knocked out the Umbreon, can go for some feint attacks. And some rest if I get low on health, but in this case, yeah, I guess I do need to use just one of the rest. Murkrow down to now barely anything, and now down to nothing. Okay, so Karen down, 4 Elite Four members down, 1 champion left. That is Lance. So Mystic Water, get that back on it. Tentacruel for, I mean, he's kind of the flying / dragon type Elite Four member. Ursaring switches Never Melt Ice for a Quick Claw. Give him some better speed if I'm lucky. Gyarados, use my Scyther here. Go for a Fury Cutter since Gyarados is flying. I mean, the whole team is flying. And so Gyarados actually misses the Hyper Beam, hits the second one, Scyther survives, he's got a recharge turn. He's racking up these Fury Cutters, knocks out Gyarados. He's, I think, full damage Fury Cutter. So it's just over half the Dragonite. Misses Thunder, which would have, you know, wiped out Scyther. So 2 Pokemon down just from my Scyther. Another half damage from Fury Cutter. Okay, yeah. That's, I mean, plenty of good luck from Scyther. Almost took out half the team. With this second Dragonite, Blizzard Dragonite, let's send out Tentacruel. Start using Surf. Gets paralyzed like these AI love to do, but breaks through paralysis and uses Surf. Level 50 Dragonite hits him with a Hyper Beam, but it doesn't, you know, give me a free chance to come in and do something. Best option is going to be Water type moves here with Gyarados. Hydro Pump, not a lot. Just under a quarter, about a 5-hit KO, but he can survive a Hyper Beam pretty well, over half health. Of course, he's got his full restores, start going for some Surf, but Outrage is just neutral, and Gyarados is gone. Meganium quad resisted there, its moves. Ursaring, I can teach it, or maybe I already did teach it. Fire Punch. You can set up a light screen, and it can be confused itself from the Outrage. I mean, Resistance doesn't do nothing. I mean, with the Hyper Beam, since it is a 2-turn move. Meganium is doing a little bit of things. Light Screen's gone. I mean, Outrage is a special type. It's just, you know, it's Dragon type, so it's special in this generation. And Meganium almost survived. Almost knocked it out, I mean, too. And Ursaring here does have Fire Punch. Dragonite had to recharge. He's gone. So I got Aerodactyl. It's Hyper Beam. Ursaring brought Aerodactyl into half. I mean, because he keeps using his Hyper Beams, honestly, Ursaring takes it really well. And Ursaring can almost do it. The thing is, Aerodactyl actually had a recharge, so I could have just knocked him out there. But because of how little it's doing in those 2-turn moves, he can just rest actually back up, use some Fire Punches, and knock out Aerodactyl about half health with just the Charizard remaining. The Flamethrower does pretty good damage against Ursaring, unfortunately. Against my Fire types, what's my answer? Let's go Iron Tail with Girafarig. Misses the first time. Oof, Flamethrower is almost half. And, so not quite, pretty close. I mean, that was my first try, actually, against Lance. So, let's try again and see how it goes. So, let's get Scyther again. Set up Sword Dance. I don't know if I did last time. I probably did. Because how was I doing as much damage? Anyway, go for some Fury Cutter. You know, last time I didn't use any of the Swords Dance, so because here, now on the third hit, takes out Gyarados. This is now a fourth instead of a full powered, and it knocks it out. So now anything is going to get knocked out pretty much. Another Fury Cutter, yeah. His Dragonite is also gone. Aerodactyl, he outspeeds. After those Swords Dances, yeah, Scyther is just sweeping through the team. With Fury Cutter, as long as I don't miss, which hasn't yet. Knock on wood, Dragonite. Oh, and I missed. Okay, well, it's 5 of my Pokemon against this Dragonite, and I think they all at least have one option, even if. Well, I guess. Maybe not Girafarig. Ursaring, though. Fire Punch. Kind of just did the same thing as before. Rest when they can, especially because they can confuse himself or have a recharge turn. I have so many Pokemon, I just don't even bother, I guess. I just actually luckily burn him with that. So puts him on the clock and he uses a full restores, I guess. But Hydro Pump knocks him out. So Lance defeated, I mean, Scyther almost, if he didn't miss that last Fury Cutter, I mean, I assume it probably would have been full damage. 1 hit KO, or at least almost a 1 hit KO, probably would have been one. I mean, that's a lot of attack and a huge same type of attack move in Fury Cutter, so Johto's done. And I mean, yeah, that is the Johto section of the game, but I mean, as you know, there's 8 more gym leaders. There's the Kanto section, primarily that being blue. I mean, you can see, wow, 37 hours. It takes a long time to do some of these things. Anyway, going now over to Kanto, kind of quickly through some of the gym leaders. So we got Lieutenant Surge, Electric types, Ursaring with his Thunder Punch, take out Raichu, and Electrode blows himself up. And then Magneton, Girafarig can use some headbutts, and Scyther actually, Sword Dance can use his wing attack. So this Electrode is not using any electric moves. I don't know if he has any. And Electabuzz as well. I mean, just end up, yeah, with it's just the power of Sword Dance and being at, you know, fast Pokemon with high attack, same type moves. God Psychic, I can teach that to Girafarig, which is nice for the Psychic type gym just north of Vermilion with Saffron. So trying this here kind of shows you I can send out, if I send out Meganium first to use a light screen, I can kind of go back and forth, use Girafarig, use some Psychics, and knock out all these other Pokemon. But, I mean, none of these are necessarily too hard. Sabrina probably was one of the harder ones, just because I really just had Girafarig to do damage against, but some of the other ones, I've got multiple Pokemon to do damage against them. And the levels, I wish they were much higher. I wish it was more of a challenge, because there's cool team compositions. It's just, when their Pokemon are in the 40s, and you just beat the Elite Four in their 50s, like, why are they not in their 50s, you know, to make it like a challenge? Just give them all 10 levels more, and I think that'd be great. I mean, it makes it simple and easy for this, but, you know, I would have liked more of a challenge, especially because all of a sudden, Blue at the end of the gyms just has, you know, more, just much higher levels. And then Janine here, yeah, level 36. Pokemon in there just in their 30s. Yeah, that's really poor level scan. Because then you have to have beaten the Elite Four to get to this point. So Blaine here, I mean, he's got Macargo, Sludge Bomb from Tentacle, Screeches, get down to Magmar, throw out my Scyther again, set up a little bit, Fury Cutters. Survive, actually does not survive the fight, Rattleblast, but Meganium can take out the Rapidash, so. Mostly just kind of looking through the things, I mean, looking forward to Blue, I mean, he's, you know, like I said, higher levels, also 6 Pokemon and different types, so kind of have to kind of match, like, you know, 1 for 1, for the most part, of which Pokemon he can do. Knock out Brock, he's got Kabutops. And he's gone. I mean, as soon as I said his name, he was already done, pretty much. I mean, obviously it's sped up a little bit, not that much in some of these, you know, easier ones. So, super quickly showing that same team I have. You know, Scyther level 54. He's actually the highest of the levels, just because he has been getting the most experience. A couple Fury Cutters, the third one. I mean, Pidgeot's not even in the quarter. So you can send out Meganium. He also goes down, so it's not good when 2 other Pokemon are gone from first. If I send out Tendricruel though, use Screech twice, actually 3 times, okay, so full defense drop. Tendricruel's down to about a third, Scyther can come out, you give him the leftovers that you get from getting the Snorlax, can start going, and Fury Cutter, The third one will take out Pidgeot. And Rhydon, unfortunately, can't use. Unfortunately, Rhydon comes out because I wish it was like Charizard. Charizard Arcanine. But anyway, did a little bit of damage. Meganium can come out, keep healing up, and take out actually both Rhydon and Executor. Arcanine, I mean, hey, he's resists the Razor Leaf, so Meganium almost brings Arcanine down to half before going down. But Arcanine does some big damage. Earth Ring here. He's got his Fire Punch. Extreme Speed doesn't do too much. Well, because Light Screen's over, Flamethrower just racks up too much damage against Earth Ring. Yeah, so Arcanine's kind of a beast. Use some Iron Tails. Girafarig, I mean 100 damage each time from that Flamethrower. So that one's brutal. I'd level up a little bit. Also swap things around a little bit. Earth Ring wasn't helping as much here. Swap that for Snorlax. As you can see here, he can kind of use Body Slam and knock out the Rhydon. Never even got to Alex, and that's the thing is I don't want to be able to use. I'm going to use Girafarig. I need him for Alakazam, so I can't use him for Arcanine if Arcanine came out first. So depending on which Pokemon knock out which Pokemon is the order that I'll send things out in. So Girafarig here, I guess I actually debate if I switch out Meganium, kind of like with Sabrina, you can set up a Light Screen after surviving the Psychic. Go back to Girafarig, and Girafarig, yeah, taking very little from the Psychic, can use Psychics of his own, and beat Alakazam with just a little bit of thing left. Gyarados, hey, I mean, go for an Iron Tail, it's resisted. Hyper Beam's actually a great thing to get knocked out by if you're going to get knocked out, because then you get a recharge turn. And since I changed the order of some things here, or I guess maybe with the Screeches on this attempt, didn't get hit by the Pidgeot, Tentacruel can knock out the Gyarados, kind of like I said, that each Pokemon having kind of one Pokemon they can go against. Tentacruel here, Circle from Surth, I mean it does but a quarter, oof, with the crit. I mean Executor almost knocked out, but just by Tentacruel himself. Like I'm Meganium, down to low health, while Executor uses Full Restore, can use Synthesis, and Executor can't do much to Meganium. Arcanine, final Pokemon, start using Razor Leaf just to get any chip damage as I can. Crits on the second one. Arcanine down to about 2/3 health. Magcargo caught Slugma, trained him up, and I've got Flamethrower that I can use against him, but by using Amnesia, raise my special defense, as well as hardened it. See some of my defense, I give him now the leftovers. And with Magcargo having the leftovers, yeah, well I can set up a little bit more. Barely survived, really probably got a little bit greedy, should have gone sooner. Flamethrower here does a little bit of damage. Arcanine can also go for Roar. If he didn't go for Roar, then a couple times actually, which just means not doing anything because all my other Pokemon are gone. And Magcargo can beat Arcanine, so he's a good fire counter because I mean he's resisting those moves. Now Red, he's got his Pikachu, Espeon, Snorlax, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. So that's what I got to prep for. And I mean, team is similar to kind of what it's been, except Pikachu's kind of something different because Girafarig, I need him for the Psychic type. So I actually caught a Flappy a long time ago. Ampharos, he can go with the Zap Cannon, which can paralyze Pikachu here. Set up Light Screen, and use a Paralyzed Cure Berry. So keep using some flashes so that Pikachu can hopefully not do too much to Ampharos, because I want to have a Light Screen up for the next Pokemon as well. I also have Thunder Punch. Pikachu is actually the highest Pokemon. It's the only one that, as long as you get through him, no more full restores are going to be used. So Ampharos is good. I mean, he's not getting hit very frequently at all from Pikachu since those flashes. Thunder Punch is about a 4-hit KO. It can paralyze as well. Pikachu fully paralyzed, and this is kind of my first attempt with this team here. So Ampharos, Thunder Punch knocks out Pikachu. My first attempt, I was resetting until I could get like a paralysis first hit with and actually hitting, with the Zap Cannon. So if I can get Ampharos up here with a Light Screen, I can set up a couple flashes so that it can miss. And that's kind of crucial because with Girafarig, which, I mean, it resists, but it is lower level now than Espeon. Espeon is a pretty good Pokemon. I mean, you can go for Swift and not miss, and not resisted, but Girafarig can outpace it with Psychic. light screen is down, it misses with its Psychic. So I think if it doesn't go for Swift, it can miss with Psychic. Girafarig does survive, it's just 9. So now we've got Snorlax. It's a normal type, so I can use really anything. Use some Headbutt because it could flinch. Body Slam knocks out my Girafarig, kind of down to 4 Pokemon each. And Graveler that I caught and trained just for that. Use an Explosion. Does not knock out Snorlax, but actually that's kind of good because then I can choose who can knock him out, because that'll prompt the Pokemon to come out next. Now Venusaur, he's got Sunny Day because he wants to use Solar Beam. I can set up a Screech, send out Scyther, who with Scyther, he resists the grass moves really well. I can set up some Sword Dance, that's a second Sword Dance, and a third. And he starts going for Solar Beam without the Sun. I've been using Rock Smash here to do almost enough damage. It takes 2 turns to do it each time because the Sun's gone. Scyther can knock out Venusaur with Rock Smash. I mean, he's at full thing, because Rock Smash can also be not very effective against Charizard. Doesn't do great against Charizard since he didn't have any defense lowered. And then just like with Arcanine, I mean, Magcargo only level 53, so 24 levels less than Charizard. He's a really good counter for fire types, because fire is quad resisted. Things like wing attack or normal type moves are resisted as well. So kind of same things before, setting up Amnesias, Hardens, and then start going for Flamethrower. Have the leftovers, I mean that's how I was able to set up as well as resisting those moves. Keep going for Flamethrowers. Makar goes down to just under half. I have about a quarter, but Charizard as well. Charizard is almost in the red. Magcargo now looks like he barely gets any damage dealt each turn based on all the recovery. Charizard's gone. Magcargo is there. And Blastoise, I mean, I have all the Amnesias, but I mean, yeah. After Magcargo goes down, we got My Tentacle versus his Blastoise. My Tentacle can use Surf. His Blastoise is using Whirlpool, which is going to do a little bit of damage here or there, and Surf on his own. But My Tentacle slightly over half. Its Blastoise down out to a quarter. Tentacle is outpacing the Blastoise, 66 health, and Red and Blastoise are gone. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this type of challenge. Please like and subscribe for more videos just like this one, and take care.